Everyone, welcome. We still have a few more people trickling in here, so we're just going to wait about a minute or two before we get started. But thank you everyone for joining us today. I can see a few people already doing it, but please let us know where you're tuning in from in the chat. I see a few fellow Canadians. I myself am joining from Toronto, Canada. I've got some people from LA, San Diego, Dallas. Nice to see you all. Pennsylvania, Texas, California. I would love to be in California right now. Some more Toronto, Canada folks. Love to see that. All right, awesome. Well, I think we can kind of get started now. Please continue to drop in the chat where you're tuning in from, but officially wanted to welcome everyone to this session. I'm Sarah Kang, Gorgias's Senior Technology Partner Manager, and I'm going to be your host for today's session, Unlocking Your Omnichannel Potential for BFCM 2025. It's hard to believe BFCM is around the corner, but like I said, while people are still trickling in, just keep dropping in where you're tuning in from. Please also introduce yourself and your brand. We love seeing such a global mix of people in this community, and we'd also love to see the brands you're representing. We've got a fantastic lineup of partners today, each really bringing their own perspective and real world strategies on how you can unlock your omnichannel potential this BFCM. And I promise you, you're going to leave this session with ideas that you can put into action right away. This webinar is a part of our ongoing DTCx series at Gorgias. So if this is your first one, welcome everyone. DTCx is all about bringing together merchants, tech platforms, and agencies from across the Shopify ecosystem to really share what's working right now in e-commerce. We'll keep these conversations technical, relevant, and actionable. So please don't be shy. Use the chat to ask questions, share any takeaways, or really just comment on what resonates with you. The more engaged you are, the more valuable this session becomes. Okay, so now let me quickly introduce today's speakers before we dive in. We're going to hear a little bit more from Ezra at Zipify, myself on behalf of Gorgias, Erin from Triple Whale, Krista from ShipBob, and Thomas from Nosto. It's a powerhouse group of partners who live and breathe e-com, and together we'll cover everything from CX to analytics, fulfillment, and personalization. We're really excited to get started here. Before we do, I mentioned it earlier, but please stay engaged in the chat. There are prizes that we're going to give away at the end of each session. We've got some really, really cool giveaways that are happening courtesy of all of the partners that I just introduced. We'll be picking winners throughout each session. So stay active, ask questions, share your thoughts, and then you might walk away from something really cool from brands like Goody or Our Place, and you'll walk away with some really great e-commerce strategies. So with that, let's jump right in and get started. I'm going to hand things over to Ezra at Zipify, who's going to kick us off.
Thank you so much, Sarah, and thank you so much, Gorgias, for hosting this this webinar. It's really wonderful to spend some time with our e-commerce community, and I got some stuff to share with you. So we're gonna get started right this minute. So here we go. I'm gonna share my screen right here, and there we go. And I got my slides going down right over here. So, all right, we're rocking and rolling. So I'm really grateful that you're here. I got 15 minutes. I'm gonna get right into. I'm gonna give you some reminders from last year, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then I'm gonna give you some like 6 or 7 different things that you should definitely do if you want to like make more revenue in this year's Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So I got a lot of brands. Navage, we're about a 9-figure brand. I got Boom by Cindy, Boom Beauty now. We changed our name. I got Overtone Color. I got Safe Sleeve Cases. Zipify, Smart Marketer, and then a whole bunch of brands that I don't actually share with the community as well. So I'm out here, out here doing it. and not just a software provider, actually run brands first and foremost. So there's 3 things that you need to do if you want to grow your business. There's really only 3 things you can do. You can get more new customers, you can get them to spend more with you while they're shopping, and you can get them to shop more frequently. That's it. You don't need massive wins in any of those categories. If you do about 30% in each of those, you can double your business. And that's really the only way to grow a business, is one of those 3 things. Get more customers, get them to spend more, get them to purchase more frequently. So what I'm going to be talking about is like how to do that. So Black Friday was crazy last year. Shopify merchants did $11.5 billion in sales, which was 24% over the previous year. 76 million individuals purchased from Shopify powered brands. And Black Friday itself, each year this happens. Black Friday was the #1 shopping day with the highest volume, 4.6 million per minute, peaked at about noon on Black Friday. And what's interesting is there was a 24% increase year over year from 24 to 23, from 23 to 22, and then again from 23 to 24. So basically each year we're growing about 25% in terms of our Black Friday total revenue going through Shopify stores. What was really cool was that Shopify Pay, expedited payment gateway, mobile essentially, was a 60% year over year growth. And what's crazy, and this is going to lead into some of the stuff I'm about to tell you right now, is there was $108 average order value. $108, which means you don't got to be discounting all crazy. You could do bundles. People are out there ready to spend. So it was a pretty decent average order value. It was really high, actually. So there's a lot to do. You don't have to do it all. I'm going to remind you of a couple things. 1, go early. Start in Prime Day, October 10th to 14th. This is going to be this year. That's when Amazon starts. That's when holiday shopping starts. You should be running a Prime Day sale. That's when you should start your Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Q4 merchandise, actually on Prime Day. And then hit the peak days. Your merchandising matters a lot. You got to be doing emails, SMS, and ads really heavily. You got to mimic your merchandising across all your different channels. You want to bundle and kit and create new items. And you need to do content in and around your merchandising. And your mobile optimization matters more than you think. And you want to amplify all your merchandising on your organic channels as well. So let's go through a few of these things, and we'll get into some specific things you can do. So going early. Look, this is our segmentation last year. These were our campaign phases. We had Prime Day. We had Early Bird, where we were building up buzz before the sale. We came out 2 weeks before Black Friday actually happened, because you know what? During Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Cyber 5 days, everyone's getting like hundreds of emails a day. So you want to be out there 2-3 weeks early, running your sale before anyone else, and getting into inboxes and SMSs before everybody's overrun. And then of course you come out and you go on actual Black Friday, Cyber Monday as well. But you've gotten access to your team, your community before anyone else has. These are the peak days: Prime Day, early Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Thanksgiving Day itself, Black Friday itself, Cyber Monday itself, and then Green Monday, which is the last Monday in December, where you can ship things and still get it in time for Christmas, usually about December 12th. And then of course, countdown to New Year sale, last 5 days of the year. You got to be running merchandising during that. So you got to hit your peak day promos. And what you can see here, this is Prime Day. You can see Prime Day, we did a lot of revenue in each of our stores. So like you can run merchandising when people are shopping. These are our Prime Day sale numbers. And then on the peak days, right? So early Black Friday, actual Cyber Monday, Green Monday, countdown to New Year's sale, New Year's Eve. You want to be sending 3 emails and 2 SMSs and doubling your ad spend on those peak days, because you're doing those campaign phases. So you got to make sure you're hitting, if you just do nothing else, merchandise really heavily on those peak days. Now your average order value doesn't have to go down during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Look, you see we did 31% increase over the Cyber 5 in 2023 and about 15% last year. So but the way you do it is by bundling, kitting, and promoting high average order value items. I bought this brand back in 2021, and you can see from the moment I bought it to 6 months later, I had my average order value from like $40 up to like 62. And I did that through bundling, kitting, upsells, and cross sells. So how are we going to get our average order value up? First, basket builders. What is a basket builder? A basket builder is an item that's relevant to all your other items, that has a high EBITDA margin, and maybe it's too late for you guys for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Hopefully not. Hopefully you got some basket builders. But what you do is you get your basket builders going. They're upsells and cross sells that are relevant to everything. And this is another example for Navage, right? One of them is countertop caddy. Your product can sit on this. Another one's like cleans your thing. So you're going to be doing these upsells and cross sells throughout the sales cycle, and ideally bundling your basket builders together. So this is a pre-purchase upsell that we have on our Overtone brand, and it's a bundle of our basket builders, very high average order, very high profit margin in this order. For this product, and a lot of people take this upsell. It's our best upsell. And then the other thing that you can do is you could say, hey, this is through my app One-Click Upsell by Zipify, where it's like, hey, this product that's in your shopping cart, go ahead and replace it with a bundle that has the product in it. So you get a discount and you get the product you're already shopping for, but you also get other products at a discount. So you can replace the product that's in the cart with a bundle. So the other thing is, like, notice on our Black Friday, Cyber Monday landing pages, if you don't have a BFCM landing page where there's a countdown timer, I got a whole training. I only got 15 minutes with you today, but I got a whole training on how to do Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and a whole bunch of other stuff in terms of like the ads, the emails, the buzz building, all that stuff. But the landing page itself, look, my bundles are up front. The first thing you see on my page is bundles. I'm promoting those first because 50% of people only see the top of the page. So I'm promoting my bundles heavily. And what you'll notice, I got Johnson boxes throughout the page as well, is that my bundles end up getting a lot of sales. I end up making a lot of revenue for my bundles. So I'm promoting them. You can take your items that you have together, make a relevant bundle, and then discount it, and you'll sell more of that bundle during BFCM. So merchandising. Your merchandising is the most important part of your Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So we're doing threshold-based merchandising, right? 20% off up to 75, 25% off over 75. And then when you do shop the early bird sale, we've got like free gifts with purchase. We've got special bundles. We've got order bumps. We've got a rotating deal of the day. And we're doing content in and around that merchandising. Boom, it's like a little older demo, so we're not doing as crazy merchandising. It's just like a standard discount with certain special bundles and an order bump. And then you get like a opportunity to buy at the pre-sale, and we're launching new products. But your merchandising matters a lot, right? Buy one, get one, site-wide discounts, live shopping discounts, free gift with purchase, single item promos, limited time bundles, threshold-based discounts, subscribe and save. Like, the merchandising that you do is going to dictate the success of your sales. So that's kind of like high level reminders. Now I got like 6 more minutes. So I'm going to do some things that you should be doing this year. Us versus them marketing, right? Neti Pot is the category, right? Neti Pot's also a brand, but it's kind of like Vaseline and Band-Aid and Q-Tip. It's also the name of the category. So we do us versus them. This is one of our competitors doing us versus them against us. They've got an us versus them ad, goes to us versus them landing page. Here you can see me on Safe Sleep. I'm doing us versus them ads. This is Groons coming against Athletic Greens, doing us versus them. I popularized us versus them advertising back in like 2016. It's everywhere now. Here's a brand I was working with. They do us versus them that goes to a landing page. So if you're not doing us versus them ads this year, these ads and these landing pages are some of the most profitable, successful. And I got a really funny story about Cheech and Chong that I won't get into at this moment because I don't have a lot of time, but us versus them works really, really well. You should be doing it in terms of your ads and your landing pages. And look, your traditional content marketing in and around your Black Friday merchandising, right? It's not just, hey, buy my stuff, right? It is buy my stuff. It's all this merchandising with your discounting, going to your landing pages and all that. But in and around it, you've got to have content marketing. You've got to have education. You've got to have, reasons for people to engage and consume and learn and be educated. And you can do gift guides, how-tos, social media roundups, customer testimonial videos, tips, tricks, and listicles. But like, you got to have content in and around your merchandising because you want to be emailing 2, 3, 4 times a day at certain points. And like, if it's just buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, it's not going to work, right? So listicles are some of the best kind of content marketing that you could possibly do. And listicles work so well. It's just a list of things that people need to know about in relationship to your product. Hey, 10, these are the 5 reasons why. My best one ever is 5 makeup tips for older women. But you can see I got a whole training on listicles, but do listicles. Now, don't sleep on Shop Pay. The Shop app, right? Shop Pay and Shop app and Shop campaigns. If you don't have this set up and you're not doing your merchandising inside of the Shop app, like, you're going to be missing out because right now it's only 3 to 5% of all Shopify sales. But Shopify is putting like hundreds, 8 figures, 9 figures of investment into having the Shop app grow, because the Shop app is a lot like Amazon, where it's an aggregation of all the Shopify stores in one. Shopify don't want people shopping on your website. They want them shopping on the Shop app where they could buy from all the stores at once. They're incentivizing them, giving Shop cash on there. Well, I don't have to get too deep into the Shop app, but like, by the way, Zipify OCU is the only upsell, cross-sell app inside of the Shop app, but you should be on here. It's so easy to set up. And then you want to mimic your merchandising across all of your channels. You want to mimic it across Google. You can see here's our mimicked ads when we're running Cyber Monday ads. It's super easy to do inside of Google. You just set up a promotion and then you set it up, and then all your ads on Google are going to show your discounts. Same thing with Amazon. You want to be mimicking your merchandising across every channel, including organic. You want to be posting across organic too. So anywhere you're doing merchandising is going to be across all your channels. Lastly, you got to use order bumps on your, it would be remiss if I didn't mention Zipify one-click upsell, because that is my app that I'm here for on behalf of. But like, you got to be doing on-page order bumps. This is me back in '07, America's #1 Elvis wig, Afro wig, mullet wig, clown wig, troll wig, finger wig, fluff wig, 1930 Louis the 13th King wig. Look, peep this landing page, right? This is 2007. I was doing this, and it still works today. Bam! I got an upsell, cross-sell right on top of the product page, right above the add to cart button. Notice under the add to cart button, I got unique selling propositions and image format. I'm still doing that today. Notice that the isolation effect, which is the only time you see the color orange, except for on that orange troll wig, clown wig, is the add to cart button. But that cross-sell right there gets 60% of people to say yes to that cross-sell. You could do it in terms of variants, buy more, save more. You could do it in terms of, get this bundle, Amazon style, frequently bought together. You could do it in terms of, hey, here's, this product that you already were buying is inside of this bundle that you could get. You could do it in terms of Zipify one-click upsell using pre-purchase upsells. You could do it in terms of, like I was talking about, threshold-based discounting, buy more, save more, get, spend more to get free shipping. This hair color starter kit. And then you could do it in terms of, hey, just get this additional item that you didn't already have in your shopping cart, or hey, replace this item with a bundle item. You get the same product but in a bundle, but you got to be doing upsells and cross sells. So I know I'm out of time here, but look, every day a little bit more with a positive attitude, moving in the direction of your goals. The best you can do. It's a marathon. It doesn't take a lot. It just takes a daily consistent effort with a positive attitude, doing your best, and you will be successful. Add channels, do more videos, do more articles, spend more, optimize your ad and funnel. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to what I had to say. Hope it was helpful to you inside this 15 minutes that I had with you. You can check me out at all these places. I'm on Instagram. You can check out smartmarketeragency.com. You get 6 days free off of one-click upsell, zipify.com/OCU60. And if you want to learn about my daughter and her charity, you can go to loverunnethover.com. My name is Ezra Firestone. Thank you so much. Peace out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ezra. That was great. So many tips, super insightful. And I think the tip of go early was so important. You really need to start early to stay top of mind. We're all kind of fighting for mind share out there, and also to ensure you're advertising on those peak days as well. So thank you so much for that. Ezra, we do have a few questions in the chat if you're able to stick around and answer those. But also wanted to share that Amanda Grutza was the winner of Ezra's giveaway. So you will be winning $75 Amazon gift card, and Ezra will follow up with you to send that over.
Damn, I will. Someone on my team will. I didn't even know we were giving that away.
Yeah, it's a great.
I mean, I'm happy to give it away, but congratulations. But don't ask. But you got to talk to whoever you would talk to set this up.
The Zipify team will be sending that over to you. Amanda, thank you so much for all of your questions. And Ezra, if you're able to jump into the chat and answer those.
Do I just get in there and start talking in there, or what's going on? Or do you want me to talk on top of the video, or you want me to just answer inside of there?
You can answer inside of the chat. That would be lovely under the Q&A section. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Great. All right. I'm going to get my screen back up here. And I'm going to present on behalf of Gorgias. So thank you so much, everyone, again, for joining us. Like we discussed at the top of this call, BFCM is around the corner. Like Ezra said, we have to make sure we're starting early. And for so many brands, this time period really is the highest stakes time of the year. Millions of shoppers, limited time to really capture as much attention as possible. And also, as you all know, competition that's really fiercer than ever. But what's different today is customers are no longer sticking to a specific channel. They might see your ad on Instagram, start a chat on your site, maybe then follow up with an email or a TikTok DM if they don't hear back in time. And that's really what omnichannel looks like in practice. It's fragmented, it's fast moving, and customer expectations are sky high. So I think the big question here is, can your customer experience really keep up across every single one of those touch points today? And that's really what I want to unpack, how you can prepare for BFCM by truly unlocking your omnichannel potential. Okay, so when we ask brands really what keeps them up at night when it comes to BFCM, there's probably so many things, but there are two really big themes that always come up. The first is cost and efficiency. So the volume of tickets can spike overnight when it comes to BFCM, whether it be shipping delays, order tracking, product availability. And most teams are really scrambling to add additional seasonal hires. One of our customers at Gorgias Suit Shop actually shared that they really dreaded the idea of training short term staff every November just to survive the busy season. It's expensive, it's time consuming, and then it often leads to super inconsistent service across the brand. The second we hear is missed revenue. So every shopper interaction is a chance to convert, but without instant helpful responses, those opportunities can often slip away. And one of our customers at Gorgeous, they're called Pepper. They actually reframed this problem by using our AI agent to really transform their CX into a revenue driver and not just a cost center. And this is where that omni-channel potential really comes into play. If you can handle those high volumes efficiently and then use those same conversations to also drive sales at the same time, that's not just surviving BFCM, that's actually coming out on top and winning. Okay, so who feels this pain the most? So typically brands crossing that 1 million plus revenue threshold where growth accelerators haven't really caught up here. Businesses with a high SKU catalog or high ticket volume, where every new product or promotion really drives a flood of questions. Maybe some where teams are constantly hiring across agents, especially temporary ones, just to keep their heads above water during the busy season. And then, of course, brands that are really just overwhelmed every single peak season and want to avoid burning out their entire team. This is exactly the moment where that omni-channel readiness makes the biggest difference. And with Gorgeous, we actually centralize all of your support. So we talked about it before, but email, chat, SMS, social DMs, all in one place. So agents really aren't bouncing through tabs. Then by layering in AI automation, the platform really absorbs that repetitive work and takes that load off of your team. And the result is not only efficiency, but also consistency across all of your channels. No matter where your customers are reaching out, you want to provide them with that same quality of service. Okay, so let's zoom in on the customer journey specifically because omnichannel from the CX point of view isn't just about answering tickets, it's about really guiding customers from discovery all the way through to post purchase. So, on the pre sale side, the Gorgeous AI agent really acts like a shopping assistant. If anyone asks about sizing or about different styles, shipping times, they're able to get instant conversational answers. That kind of real time support really reduces cart abandonment and increases that confidence to buy. And Ezra talked about it in this session previously, but all brands are reaching out to your customers at all times, and you want to make sure that they've got that confidence in the right moment when they're shopping on your site to make a purchase. And then on the post sale side, the AI agent really resolves the bulk of repetitive questions that come in. Typically, you'll see them flooding in during BFCM. Where is my order? Is typically the number one question. How do I make a return? This didn't fit. Can I update my shipping address? So these types of questions are often the most repetitive that we see and typically makes up anywhere between like 60 to 70% of ticket volume during BFCM. So when we can automate these types of requests, your human agents can focus on those high value conversations that really matter in the moment. And what makes this powerful is this is all happening inside of one single hub. Whether the customer, again, reached out on Instagram, email, live chat, the AI has full context, and that continuity is what really turns that fragmented experience into a super smooth and seamless experience for your customers. Now, this isn't just a theory, it's already happening at scale. So, if you look at apparel, beauty, food and beverage, luxury, any top brands, they're really all automating more than half of their support volume today. A lot of these brands on the screen are using Gorgeous. These are all complex businesses with millions of customers, dozens of products, and multiple communication styles. Yet, by unifying their customer support all under one omnichannel platform, they're really able to absorb that BFCM surge without hiring dozens of extra agents. It's also worth noting that these brands are not sacrificing quality by freeing their teams from repetitive work. Their agents can focus really on more personalized relationship building, especially during the busiest time of year where customer loyalty and retention is so, so important. So, automation is not just going to save you money, it's also going to improve your customers' experience. And that truly is what unlocking your omnichannel CX potential looks like at scale. It's efficiency and it's quality, and all of those things are just coexisting together. Okay, so let me bring this to life with Shinesty. So in years past, BFCM was absolute chaos for Shinesty. It took them 20 agents to just manage the surge in ticket volume that they received over that week alone. But with an AI agent with Gorgias, they were able to totally flip the script here. So today, a team of just 5 handles the exact same BFCM workload. So over 60% of interactions are actually resolved automatically. Our resolution time improved here from 10 hours to 3, which is wild. And response times dropped from 20 hours to just 1 minute. So that impact is really twofold, right? Like customers are delighted by that real time answer. And the CX team also feels a little bit calmer, a little bit more in control, especially during the busiest time of year. And that's what the potential here is. It's not just about scale, it's about creating that better experience for both your customers and your employees during the busiest time of year. Now let's take a look at the revenue side with Pepper. So their challenge specifically, it wasn't efficiency, it was actually conversion. So customers typically had a ton of questions when it came to their product about styles, different fits, how they would look. And without quick, confident answers, shoppers were often hesitating, and they were noticing their sales were stalled, abandoned cart rates were extremely high. And by introducing a shopping assistant with Gorgeous, Pepper actually created one-on-one conversions that felt like they were chatting with a knowledgeable store associate. So the results, I mean, they're on the screen, but they were remarkable. They saw a 19% lift in conversion rate, an 18% increase in AOV, and a 16.5x ROI in just 30 days, which is wild. And what I really love about this story is it highlights the other half of that omni-channel potential during BFCM. It's not just about deflecting tickets, it's about proactively generating revenue by meeting your customers where they are in the moment that they're ready to buy. So, as you prepare for BFCM, there are a couple questions that I'll leave you with today. How can you reduce pressure on your team while still delivering consistent service across every single channel? How can you turn more of the conversations, whether they be on email, chat, or social, into actual sales? And how can you really build a foundation that now will scale beyond that holiday season? So again, the brands that I shared, Shinesty, Pepper, and I think Suit Shop earlier, all prove that this is possible. With the right systems in place, you're not just getting through BFCM, you're unlocking that omni-channel potential for the long term. And I'd love to hear about some of your own plans for the season, where you see the biggest opportunities, and the Gorgeous team would love to support. I'm going to take a look at the chat now and see if I can answer some of the questions. I'm also going to provide my email. Really appreciate everyone's time here. I'm going to just jump into the chat and see what kind of questions we have. Okay, we've got a lot of them in here. Let me see. Ryan asks, what can customization of the Gorgeous agent look like? I could foresee some of my agency clients being hesitant to rely on it to help their customers. Ryan, that is a really great question. I would say the more time and effort that you put into training your AI, the more you can make it sound like it's not AI, right? Like the goal here is to really speak in your brand's tone of voice. So there are a ton of training models, customizations, options as well to really make it feel like these answers are coming from your brand and they're extension of your support team. We'd love to show you what that can look like, and we can get into some of the specifics as well. Appreciate that question. Stacy asks, TikTok Shop is pretty trendy lately, wondering how your team sees it. Stacy, this is a great question as well. TikTok Shop is on the rise. I'm Canadian myself, so I've never tried it out, but I hear from a ton of our customers that are using the platform. They are also getting a ton of support questions coming in from TikTok Shop. So this is a channel that we are looking at. The Gorgias team is integrated with TikTok Shop today, so we're able to answer any questions that come in from the app. Daniel asked, we have licensed products and my group won't approve an AI chatbot. Any testing on human live chat versus AI live chat during the holidays? Daniel, we can definitely explore what this looks like. I'm going to share my email in the chat and give you a quick follow-up. But appreciate the questions here, team. I'm going to also check on who is the winner of the Gorgias giveaway, which is a $75 Uber Eats voucher. It's Daniel Diner. He is the winner. So Daniel, we'll follow up with you, and I'm going to send you a quick email once this is done. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone. If there are more questions, please stick around and I'll be answering them in the chat. But in a moment here, we are going to bring on our partners at Triple Whale. I'll have to say I've done many sessions with the Triple Whale team, and you're not going to want to miss what Erin has to share. So Erin, I'll toss things over to you.
Awesome. Thank you. Can everybody see my screen? Second, let me just hide this. All right. Thank you so much for the intro. So as Sarah mentioned, my name is Erin Watt, and I am one of the tech partner managers here at Triple Whale. It is wonderful to be here with all of you today, especially after taking the past 6 months off from maternity leave. So I am doing, and this is like my second webinar I've done since I've been back. And yeah, while sometimes it does feel like I haven't slept in months, I am very happy to report that I got a solid 6 hours of sleep last night. So we're doing well today. Okay, so this session is all about helping you to build your own BFCM playbook and taking on a lot of the tactics that even Ezra and Sarah both spoke about, because whether you are tuning in from the Southern Hemisphere and you're heading into spring, or from the Northern Hemisphere and you're approaching fall, we are all gearing up for the same thing, the biggest shopping season of the year. So today we'll be diving into the data and also the strategies that can help your brand not just capture the holiday rush, but keep customers engaged well beyond it. And more specifically, we will be covering some key data points from last year's BFCM performance, what changed in the first half of 2025, also our predictions for this year's peak shopping season. We'll also look at some strategic planning to help you start prepping now till you can maximize that impact during the shopping season. And then I'll also show you how you can leverage AI to help meet and exceed your holiday goals. And then lastly, we'll just wrap up with some key takeaways plus a special offer from Triple Whale. Okay, but before we dive into those topics, let's answer a question that you may already be asking. Who is Triple Whale? So as I mentioned earlier, I recently returned from maternity leave, and surprisingly, during the 6 months I was away, Triple Whale rolled out some massive upgrades. But at our core, we are still your e-commerce BFF, that ride or die companion who is here to celebrate your wins, but also help you tackle those unforeseen challenges of running an online store. Now, today's brands are drowning in data, but they're starving for insights. And that is where we come in. So we are the e-commerce intelligence platform built for faster and more confident decisions. Now, most analytics tools, they're going to tell you what happened. Triple Whale takes it a step further. We are going to show you what happened and how it happened, and then most importantly, what to do next. And that is going to be the biggest difference between raw data and actual intelligence. And today, Triple Whale is proudly the source of truth for 40,000 plus innovative brands. And this includes Peloton, Culture Kings, Meshki, Bye Bye Baby. And we also work with over 2,000 trusted agency partners and integrate with over 65 tools, including major ad channels and platforms. So think Shopify, BigCommerce, Google, Meta, as well as growth tools like our friends over at Gorgias and ShipBob. All right, so now that you're more familiar with Triple Whale, let's jump into our BFCM playbook. So quick question for the chat. This is an easy one. Are you planning to run the same Black Friday strategy as you did last year? Just a really simple yes, no, unsure. Okay, we got a yes. Anyone? No. Yeah. Okay. So we got a few answers. All right. If you are, that move could end up costing you this time around, but we'll break down why. Okay. So we are operating in a completely new reality. Ezra mentioned this even earlier during his presentation. So costs are rising across every platform. Acquiring customers is harder, more expensive, and competition for attention has never been fiercer. But here's the good news. BFCM 2025 is still wide open for you to win. And this deck actually pulls in insights from our BFCM prep guide, which we actually published a couple weeks ago, where we analyze data from over 10,000 businesses to uncover what's actually working now. So let's start with what we learned from BFCM 2024 to understand what we need to actually change this year. And Ezra kind of touched on this as well. So BFCM 2025, BFCM in general has always been a prime moment for new customer growth because buyer intent is at its all-time peak. And in 2024, nearly 60% of revenue came from new customers. And when we look at our ad platform data, we see that Meta, as always, was dominating ad spend, while TikTok continued to mature, driving gains in both ROAS and AOV. But the story really began shifting dramatically in the first half of 2025, setting up what could be a very different BFCM this year. Okay, so here's what the data tells us about that shift. So in the first half of 2025, across Meta, TikTok, Google, brands are just spending more, but earning less in return. So ad spend jumped 27%, while revenue grew only 20%. So that efficiency gap just shows us how competitive the landscape has become. More telling is what happened to new customer acquisition. So the share of revenue from new customers dropped to 52%, and new customers order fell from 54% to 48%. Even when we look at AOV, it dipped from $94 to $91. So the message is really clear. Acquiring new customers is going to be a lot tougher and also a lot more expensive than ever. Now, what does this mean for this year? Using these insights, we can actually start making some clear predictions. So some of the predictions that the Triple Whale team came up with, one of those being that Triple Whale brands will spend between 400 to 450 million on ads this holiday season. So that's about a 30% increase from last year. I think Ezra was mentioning about a 25% increase. So now here's the big challenge. It is going to cost more to reach people to convert them. Cost per acquisition will be higher, and the price to show your ads will increase, especially on the busiest shopping days like Black Friday itself. So essentially, brands will be spending 30% more, but they actually won't see a 30% better result. Now, the efficiency problems that we actually saw earlier this year, where you had to spend more but get the same outcomes, unfortunately, will only get worse during the holiday rush. So the brands that are going to be winning won't be the ones throwing more money at expensive acquisition campaigns. They are going to be the ones doubling down on maximizing ROI with their existing customers through smarter retention or loyalty programs, and especially also like personalized offers. So then when we talk about platform spend, as you can see on the left-hand side, so the overall patterns will hold, but there are going to be also some subtle shifts that we see in the performance with our platforms. All right, so now we know how competitive and also how costly BFCM 2025 is shaping up to be. The next question is, how do we plan for this? So we've identified 4 key areas that can help you maximize results this year that are based on what's actually working for brands navigating this new reality. Okay, so the first one is going to be all about retention. So in the first half of 2025, existing customers drove nearly 50% of revenue, up from 43% in 2024. So this isn't just going to be a trend. This is our new foundation. So that means doubling down on what keep customers coming back. So that's investing into those loyalty programs, creating VIP experiences for those whale customers, and also utilizing post-purchase surveys to personalize those future campaigns. And the second one's going to be creating premium strategies for customer acquisition. So acquiring customers is still critical. But with CPAs up at 11%, only high LTV customers are profitable. So you got to be picky. You need to be pickier with who you're targeting. So you really want to focus your acquisition spend on those lookalike audiences of your best customers, as well as maybe set some higher spending minimums for new customer campaigns and also use longer attribution windows just so that you can capture the full customer value. So the next one's going to be AOV recovery. So AOV fell nearly about 3% in 2025. And this just kind of shows us that there's a real price sensitivity. So you want to combat this with product bundles. Also, you can look into dynamic pricing by segment and also stronger post purchase upsells. So honestly, just small changes can really drive big profitability gains in these areas. And our last is going to be lifetime value optimization. So with acquisition costs rising, LTV is key for protecting margins. So you want to make sure that you're measuring success over a 6 to 12 month period, not just that BFCM weekend. Also focusing on high repeat products and build retention workflows to keep customers engaged well beyond the holidays. Okay, so we're not going to have, because I go over my webinars all the time, and I was pretty sure we weren't going to have enough time to dive into industry specific strategies, but these are really important. So, another way to really make sure that you're winning this season is making sure that you're understanding your data from your vertical. And then, what are some of those industry specific strategies that you can work into your playbook for BFCM? So, our comprehensive BFCM guide will cover some of those tactics tailored to different verticals. And I will share the link to that guide at the end of the session so you can take a look at it. Some good stuff in there. Okay, so now that we've covered the strategic framework, so we've looked at retention, we've also looked at premium acquisition, we've reviewed some AOV recovery as well as LTV optimization. But the question is, how do you actually execute any of this during the chaos of BFCM? So this is where AI becomes your competitive advantage. And now, I'm not talking about ChatGPT for writing copy, which, by the way, is still great. So still use that. But I am talking about AI that helps you to make those faster and smarter decisions with your actual data. And this is where I'm going to do the triple plugin, a little triple plugin. So Triple Whale's Mobi AI is going to help you with pulling reports and analyzing spreadsheets so you're not having to spend hours doing that yourself. So Mobi really gives you that instant access to the insights that you need to execute not only the 4 strategies that we just covered, but also for when you're planning for BFCM. So for example, our agents can instantly deliver insights like a week by week breakdown of last year's performance, or provide you with a clear budget recommendation that also provides you with the math to back them. Even simplifying your forecast that can actually highlight exactly what you need to do and to hit this year so that you can hit those goals. And one of my favorites is also providing some like creative concepts that will help you, that are actually informed by what actually worked for your brand. Okay, so I know that was a lot to take in. And before I actually present Triple's giveaway, let me just leave you with some 6 takeaways that can make or break your BFC in 2025. So the first, start early. Ezra mentioned this as well. Q3 is the new Q4. And I do know that we're now at the end of Q3, but I still recommend working on your customer segmentation and loyalty programs now, not in October. Also, the next one is going to be spread your bets. So diversify ad spend across platforms and test emerging channels ahead of time. The next is going to be upgrade your tracking game. So use attribution models that capture the full customer journey, not just the last click. And that will just give you the full customer life cycle. Also, build for retention. So invest in those VIP programs, those win back sequences, and also creating those personalized experiences. The 5th one would be budget for reality. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You're going to need a plan for a 30 to 35% higher ad cost while also keeping ROI goals strict. And then last one is going to be leverage AI for speed. So the brands that will be winning will be the ones that are making faster and smarter decisions with tools like Mobi AI. Okay, so now here's the thing. AI can only be as good as the data it has to work with. So before AI can drive action, you need a solid foundation of data. And that's why we are offering a free dashboard to get you started. So you can't optimize what you don't understand. And our dashboard will give you an easy way to start making more data decisions. And there is no strings attached. It's completely free. So if you would like to try Triple for free, I will be sharing the link in the chat. And as promised, I will also be sharing our complete BFCM guide with all the data and the tactics that we covered today, plus also a BFCM checklist that will help you get you prepared. So I'll put that all in the chat afterwards as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Erin. We really appreciate that. You've made so many amazing call outs. And I agree with you. I think acquiring new customers now really is more expensive than ever before. And you showed it with the data, but doubling down now on loyalty and retention efforts going forward will be so, so important for so many brands this BFCM.
100%.
Um, yeah, so we got actually a ton of questions for you in the chat here. I'm just going to call out a couple really quickly, if you don't mind.
Yep.
One of the questions we got is how can Triple Whale help us get a clearer picture of what channels are really driving conversions during BFCM so we know where to double down?
Sorry, the question was.
So, how can we really get a clear picture of what channels are specifically driving a ton of conversion so they know where to focus their efforts this season based on any historical data?
So for you, I want to look at the question so I can get all of it because that was a longer one. What? Oh my
It's
God, there's so many ones. Which one is it?
it's Carolina's question.
Okay, let me get to what.
And while you're reading that, I'll give you a second to read over that question. And I also will announce that Carolina is actually the winner of the Triple Whale giveaway. So she's won a $100 Visa gift card.
I am so sorry. I cannot find Carolina's question.
All good. Maybe if you'd like, we'll give you a little bit of time and then you can get into the chat and answer there because there's a ton of questions for you.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much that we can offer. And that's why I just want to make sure that I'm providing you with everything. And I can't, maybe I'm not looking at the right place. So sorry.
All
Okay, let
good.
me go into the chat. I can answer everything there. Wow, there's a lot more questions than I was looking at. I will get everyone, I promise. I'm so sorry.
All good, all good. Erin will get back to everyone in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for all of your questions. Please keep them coming. And thank you so much, Erin. We really appreciate your time, and this was a great session. Amazing. All right. Okay, so next up, we have Krista joining us from the ShipBob team. She's about to come on stage here in a second. She's going to be sharing some really great insights all around fulfillment and really unlocking some potential this BFCM. So, Krista, I'll hand it over to you.
Awesome. Let me get my screen up here. And I'm excited. Cool. Here we go. Awesome. Well, hi, everyone. Again, I'm Krista, and I'm excited to be here with Gorgias and the DTCx community to talk about unlocking your brand's omni-channel potential and how ShipBob helps make that possible. Today's e-commerce landscape is no longer about choosing between direct-to-consumer, retail, or marketplaces. Any brand with intentions to scale needs to meet their customers anywhere that they're shopping. And that is really a big feat to conquer on your own. So we'll talk through some strategies to make that lift possible through fulfillment. So hopefully you have heard of ShipBob before, but if you're not familiar, ShipBob helps brands around the globe fulfill their everything orders. So there are three things I really want to highlight. We work with businesses of varying sizes, so ranging from mid-market brands doing several hundreds of GMV sales to the fastest growing D2C brands to people who are just even getting started, providing them all with best-in-class supply chain capabilities. We help you optimize fulfillment operations either in your own facilities with ShipBob's warehouse management software or outsource it completely to have your orders picked, packed, and shipped for you at our over 60 fulfillment centers across the US, Canada, Australia, and Europe. And lastly, we're trusted by thousands of brands to build brands globally to build a scalable, affordable fulfillment strategy and fulfill orders with seamless omni-channel connectivity. So we do all of this with one full stack fulfillment platform that provides you with a single view of your business and your customers across all of your sales channels. So the merchant application enables you to manage products, inventory, orders, and shipments, all with real-time analytics and reporting. A few different ways that ShipBob's solution is different and can help make omni-channel success possible. One is our full ecosystem connectivity to accelerate sales and streamline data. So modern brands thrive on omni-channel, and this ecosystem connectivity simplifies fulfillment no matter what channels you're selling across. So our platform enables brands to expand into new channels and markets without operational friction while maintaining real-time visibility and control from, again, that one dashboard. Order orchestration to execute inventory and orders at scale. So using an end-to-end solution that supports orders from major e-commerce platforms like Shopify, with capabilities for custom packaging, bundling, and all of that done with automation. So that ensures consistent execution and brand presentation at scale. And then an integrated network from inbound to warehousing and delivery. So with a global footprint and deep carrier partnerships, ShipBob ensures every order arrives as quickly and cost effectively as your customers are expecting them. So our tech-powered inbound and outbound sites reduce complexity and errors at the most critical touch points. So this all enables you to deliver a seamless shopper experience no matter what channels you're selling on. And omnichannel is not optional anymore. I know we've heard this in a few other presentations, but we ran a state of fulfillment report. We do this every year. And in our 2024 report, we found that 63% of ShipBob brands plan to add at least one new sales channel this year in 2025. And so we help you stay ahead of this trend by making it easy to expand to these new channels. So whether it's Amazon, TikTok, or retailers, you don't need to rebuild your fulfillment strategy when you have a fulfillment partner like ShipBob with connectivity. So with 73% of shoppers using multiple channels before making a purchase buying decisions, building your brand presence across multiple channels means you're putting your brand in the best position to win those new customers. Our global network and intelligent inventory tools are built for omnichannel execution. So again, with over 60 fulfillment centers across the globe, our hub and spoke model is designed to reduce complexity, lower cost, and increase speed. So this isn't just about having more locations, but it's about having the right locations. Our inbound and outbound processing centers, regional hubs, and sortation facilities work together to optimize inventory placement, consolidate shipments, and unlock carrier discounts. And something we see is that when brands are just getting started, we often see them managing fulfillment through manual spreadsheets, tracking inventory, orders, and shipments across multiple different tools. And that might work in the beginning, for a few dozen orders, but it quickly breaks down as volume grows. It's just not scalable, and it's definitely not future-proof. So we're able to replace that manual tech stack with a single integrated platform that gives you real-time visibility and control across your entire supply chain. So for brands, this means lower cost to serve, fewer errors, and faster delivery without needing to build or manage your entire own logistics footprint. So what does our network look like in practice? It starts with a multi-site strategy. So our network design is based on demand patterns. So this places inventory closer to customers to reduce shipping zones and speed up delivery. And then by injecting packages into regional hubs and consolidating outbound pickups, we build carrier density that unlocks volume discounts and more reliable transit times. And then our scale of orders and shipments going out allows us to negotiate those competitive prices with a mix of national carriers, consolidators, and couriers. And then lastly, again, our technology ties it all together. So it gives you real-time rate shopping, optimized cartonization, and zone skipping through our middle mile network. So this model is designed to evolve with your business. It means fewer operational headaches, more predictable costs, and the flexibility to expand into new markets or new sales channels. And then once your network is optimized, the next step is executing inventory strategy with precision. So using an automated system like ShipBob, it automatically recommends to determine where your inventory should be stored across the network. This helps brands reduce shipping costs, improve delivery speeds, again, because your inventory is sitting closer to your end customer, and just simplifies inbound logistics by sending one bulk shipment that will distribute intelligently. We also provide actionable and analytics like sell-through rates and slow-moving SKU insights so you can make smarter replenishment decisions and avoid stockouts, especially during peak season. And then by combining our physical infrastructure and real-time data with our smart automation, we give brands full control over the most error-prone touch points in the supply chain. So that's how we turn fulfillment into a strategic advantage. We also connect to over 100 applications across the supply chain ecosystem, whether that's, different sales platforms, ERPs, to shipping, returns, marketing, customer support tools, of course, like Gorgias. And this level of connectivity means you're not locked into a rigid system, whether you're using Shopify, NetSuite, again, Gorgias, or just expanding into different marketplaces. We can integrate seamlessly to help your operations and keep them unified. So for fast-growing brands, this level of connectivity is critical. You can launch new channels, test new strategies, and scale without needing to rebuild that tech stack. And then with orders coming in from different sales channels, it can be difficult to keep up with the sheer volume and establish a consistent shipping process. You want to be able to make sure your customers have the same experience no matter where they're placing the order from. And so your omnichannel fulfillment strategy needs to have the right infrastructure so that you can deliver that end-to-end experience that your customers expect, again, no matter where they're placing the order from. So with a connected 3PL, you can do things like a branded packaging, custom gift notes, marketing inserts. You can even display fast shipping promises on the product page before they even add the item to their cart to exceed customer expectations. Really anything you can do to make your customers feel good throughout the post-purchase experience when things can typically maybe be a little questionable or the trust is, at stake. That increases your chances of them becoming a loyal customer after that first time purchase. And to wrap things up, I just wanted to highlight one of our customers, Dossier. This is a perfect example of how they utilize ShipBob for omnichannel. So they grew from shipping manually to fulfilling over 1 million orders since 2019 with just a 3-person operations team. So they utilize ShipBob's fulfillment centers in the United States, the UK, Australia, and Canada to test out new markets at low risk because we already have that infrastructure set up for them. They leverage multiple ShipBob solutions, including retail EDI, Amazon FBA, and our inventory placement program. Again, getting those the inventory closer to your end customer. And also use us for retail distribution. So they are in 4,000 Walmart locations in the United States. So we help them distribute those orders as well. They didn't need multiple partners for direct-to-consumer and business-to-business. ShipBob handled it all, helping them grow with just, again, a 3-person team. So that's really the true power of a unified omnichannel fulfillment strategy. And again, like I said, omnichannel is no longer nice to have, it's a must-have. And with a strong fulfillment partner, you get the infrastructure, technology, and support to scale across every channel that your customers are shopping on. So with that, let's unlock your brand's full potential this peak season with these special offers. So we have $1,000 in free shipping credits, 90% off implementation, and 3 months of a branded truck wrap. So you can get your brand highlighted on one of our ShipBob trucks, which is fun. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. I will be sure to get to all of those. And you can go ahead and scan that QR code as well to get started. And my email's on there as well if you wanted to reach out that way. Let me see if there's anything in the chat here. I don't see anything.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Krista. We really appreciate that. Tons of great tips and insights. I have to say, I have a logistics background myself, and ShipBob is one of the best tech-enabled 3PLs that I've ever worked with. So I really appreciate you running us through that. I do see there are quite a few questions for you,
I
Krista.
do see them now.
Yeah, in the Q&A section, I'll just go over one with you, maybe live, before we announce your winner. But Paris asked, how does ShipBob's intelligent network distribution and real-time inventory visibility help brands lower costs while still meeting customer expectations for faster delivery?
Yeah, so what we do is we take a look at the brand's order history and customer data. So we'll see where are their orders going, where their customer is located. And then from there, we place inventory strategically close to those locations. That way, inventory is traveling a shorter distance, so it's cheaper shipping, but it also cuts down the time as well. So you're able to unlock both quick shipping at a lower rate, which is great for the brand and also for the customer.
Thank you so much. We see some more ShipBob love in the chat, which is always great to see. But Krista, before we let you go, just going to quickly announce the winner of the Our Place gift card. So the winner for ShipBob is Camilla D'Souza. So the ShipBob team will reach out to you and get that sent over.
Awesome. Congratulations. And thanks for having me.
Thank you, Krista. All right, so next up, we are joined by Thomas and the Nosto team. He's going to be joining us on stage in a moment here. Hey, Thomas.
Hello, how are you?
Doing good, doing good. Thanks again for joining us. I will give the floor over to you to take it away.
Perfect, thank you very much. I will be, let me get everything up here. Make sure we're rocking and rolling. Okay, so yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. Hopefully, everyone's taken in a lot of the good tips from the speakers previous today. As mentioned, my name is Thomas Turley. I'm a senior partner manager here at Nosto. I'm running through a little bit about Nosto, some of the research that we've done, and some of the insights we can provide to you, and give you some advice that can help you win on Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So, before I get too deep into anything, you may be wondering, hopefully you won't be wondering, but maybe you will be wondering, what is Nosto and what is a commerce experience platform? So to break it down into, to make it simple, our platform is powered by something we call Experience AI. What Experience AI does is it unifies all of your customer, your product, and your content data in real time, so that you can actually get through a range of on-site experiences. This allows you to optimize each stage of the on-site customer journey and boost associated KPIs through a variety of different tools: personalized search, category merchandising, product recommendation, user-generated content, and plenty of other products on different services as well, which is important. Just to give you some background on who we work with and who our customers are and our credentials. We work with over 700 Shopify brands globally. Some of the standout brands are Princess Polly, Kylie Cosmetics, Diori, many others. And we're a Shopify Plus certified app partner. We offer a one-click install, so I'd like to get started pretty much in minutes. As I know a lot of you are already in prep mode, I think everybody else has already mentioned it, but hopefully by now you've started your prep, or at least getting ahead of the game here now. So how can we help tackle personalization in the omnichannel environment? So the best way we can frame it is, if you have a shopper that browses your store on their desktop, then on their mobile phone or cell phone for my North American audience, and then decides to visit your store's physical location, executed personalized omnichannel strategy enables that experience to be consistent. I think, again, we've heard consistency a few times. It allows consistent and impactful experience across all channels and services, as well as being reflective of the shopper's behavior, regardless of where they begin or end their journey.
Hi, Thomas.
Uh,
I'm so sorry. Your sound seems to be breaking. Could you please maybe try removing your headphones or use different ones because it just seems to be
sure.
breaking. I don't know if it's for everybody. Thank you so much.
Okay. Improvise, adapt.
Much better. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
thanks.
Everybody, you can hear me? Good. Yeah. Cool. There's a lesson for you in Black Friday, Cyber Monday as well. Improvise, over adapt. Improvise, adapt, overcome. But yeah, just to give you an overview again, I don't know where it wasn't cutting off, but how we can help tackle omnichannel personalization is shoppers can be browsing on your desktop, then on their mobile phone, decide to visit your store's physical location. What you need is a well-executed, personalized omnichannel strategy that enables your experience on site and on other surfaces to be consistent and impactful, and as well as be reflective not only of the shopper's behavior, but their intended signals, whether it's at the beginning or the end of their journey with you as a brand. So the key to solving that equation really is by unifying, interpreting, and harnessing all of the relevant data. And implementing the ideal tech stack for your unique business goals is key, because you'll be able to identify your customer across all retail touchpoints, being able to not only collect transactional data, but also, like I said, behavioral signals that they're sending. Only then really can you start connecting the dots and delivering really exceptional customer experiences, which is what we all want to do, is create exceptional experiences for our customers. So why does Black Friday need omnichannel personalization? I'm going to go through into the time machine a little bit and run back to last year. We did a bunch of tests and analyzed a lot of data. So last year, we analyzed over 135 million website visits across more than 1,000 online stores. And what we found generally is that shoppers are more engaged with on-site experience. So that on-site experience is still important. All of the other channels are there, but people in general, the shoppers are more engaged with the on-site experiences. The stats that we kind of that stood out from that is merchants' page views, sorry, were up 24%. And their time spent on site actually increased by 4.5% on average, which generally suggests that there's an overall higher engagement and satisfaction with customer experiences. During the on-site journey, and shoppers had real appetite for product discovery campaigns in particular. I think you've probably heard a little bit about merchandising and product discovery through some of the other speakers previously. But our data showed that the number of product recommendations that were clicked were up by 98% compared to last year. So shoppers are engaged with more personalized content campaigns, personalization being the key point to that. So again, takeaway from this is that merchants should continue optimizing their personalization strategies as shoppers spend longer on site and heavily engage with the likes of content and recommendations that will guide them towards what they're looking for. So how do you do it? That's the reason you're all here. And I'm going to kind of go through various different surfaces and channels in which you can do that, and some tips and tricks that we've seen merchants use, and give you some real life examples. So one area to target these potential shoppers right at the start of the Black Friday, Cyber Monday journey, so to speak, and probably one that you're already heavily relying on, is email. Email often gets left out of personalization strategies, but it's one of the most powerful tools you have, especially during high traffic periods like we are in the moment. So to drive traffic to your site, you can start by sending tailored emails that showcase the products your customers actually want. This is where Nosto can come in. For example, you can look at your current batch of loyalty members, offer them early access to Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals, featuring items that they will show high intent to based on their past behaviors. Think of things like preferred brands, preferred color choices, recently viewed products that are now being discounted or that are being planned to be discounted. Those type of things are something you could think of if you want to get one layer deeper and really start thinking about how to maximize your success as a business. Is you can start applying merchandising rules through to make sure that those products that you're personalizing to your customers are products that have traditionally low return rates. That way, not only are your campaigns relevant to your customer, but they're also cost efficient for you as a business. And then again, if you don't want to stop there and you want to get even more layers on top of this, what you can do is set up re-engagement emails for shoppers that didn't convert, whether that's from now until Black Friday, whether that's after Black Friday, with all of the other elements beyond it, making sure that it's time sensitive, showing things that they may have left in their cart. Sometimes a timely nudge is all it takes to turn interest into action. Next up is product discovery. Product discovery, merchandising. You've heard it a bit through the previous speakers, but let's take a look at the on-site experience and how that works. Mainly, again, you want to make sure that you're turning paid traffic, organic traffic, email traffic into conversions, and you don't want to let that experience fall short. That's really how you're going to maximize every single one of those visits. Whether that's on the homepage, whether that's to content pages, product detail pages, any kind of landing experience should reflect the intent behind what you're trying to do as a business to maximize ROAS. So first tip, top layer, like easy effort or lower effort, is start by tracking your UTM parameters. This allows you to segment those users by source, create tailored on-site journeys. Whether that traffic is coming from personalized emails, whether they're coming from paid ads, whether they're coming from different traffic sources, their mindset is different and you need to adapt accordingly. So track your UTM parameters. Once the shoppers are on site, product discovery should be effortless. You want them to get there in as little friction as possible. So ways to optimize doing that, and ways that we recommend doing that, is offer product recommendations or dynamic bundles that showcase visually similar items or frequently bought together products, just using that data properly to surface products and bundles. Ezra spoke about it earlier as well. That's a really easy way to make sure you get that. Utilize personalized pop-ups to build some urgency. Messages like "there's only X amount of products left," or X amount of people have viewed this product within the last hour, really create some urgency with your shoppers while they're on the site. And then trigger exit intent pop-ups as well. Ones that are showing signs of bouncing, offer an incentive, limited time discounts, free shippings. You don't need to offer those costly promotions to everybody, but it's prudent to offer it to people that are showing signs of exiting or bouncing. Again, so the message is simple. Match the message to the moment and turn intent into action is generally how I would recommend you look at all of your strategies through Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And now let's kind of shift it a little bit and look at search data or search in general. There's a lot of power behind the search bar, and it's not just about maximizing that search behavior. It's actually a really good source of high intent signals and to help you kind of prep for what you're going to go through for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So 3 different ways that it can do that. One is we track search data on a geolocated basis down to the variant level here at Nosto. So that means you can identify what people are looking for, where in the world they are, and plan stock in local stores or regional fulfillment hubs based on that. This is demand forecasting using live shopper behavior. Your shoppers are telling you what is going to happen. It's just utilizing that data properly. You can also use the search abandonment. You can create search abandonment flows. So if somebody searches, leaves without purchasing, that's still an opportunity. It just means you've got to work a little bit harder. So trigger personalized follow-up with a reminder email. Maybe it's a pop-up next time they visit, still looking for XYZ product, they're back in stock. That type of stuff, make sure it's timely and relevant for that visitor. And then off-site behavior. It doesn't often get brought up in kind of omni-channel, but one of the channels is offline. And Nosto allows you to link users' off-site activity, whether that's visiting a blog post or reading a buying guide or their kind of off-site journey. If somebody reads some of those articles, like an article, some of those examples that Ezra gave earlier, You can prioritize relevant categories and run personalized content banners, essentially connecting the dots between those behaviors to make sure that what you're doing is highly relevant to them. And then finally, the big one for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I think generally speaking, most people will agree that mobile dominates traffic for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So that makes personalization on mobile and app critical for success. So the first big one, and you can see examples of it for Credo Beauty, which is one of our clients, is product recommendations. Nosto enables personalized product recommendations tailored specifically to that shopper's user behavior and preferences. So that could be preferred size, preferred brand affinity, or predicted buying patterns. It keeps the mobile user engaged longer, it reduces app exits, and more importantly, it boosts conversions and AOV and all the key KPIs that you're looking to impact over all the year, but especially on Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And then we have mobile merchandising rules. So you can get, again, more specific as we get kind of down a layer and down a layer. You can boost and vary products within product recommendations, category listing pages, search pages, not based just on general performance, but also based on those shopper affinities, those UTM tags, those segments that you're tracking. Again, great example is Credo Beauty, who personalized their whole mobile app experience with Nosto, driving over 1.2 million in revenue since launch. They also ran specific geolocation-based content personalization campaigns within the app to guide shoppers to their nearest brick and mortar store for in-person consultations, just engaging with that brand at every potential level. So making sure that you're bringing everything from the online to the offline, and every surface that a brand touches is going to be really vital for you. Last one, I promise, is it doesn't end at checkout. I know that sounds somewhat counterintuitive, but the checkout is just the start of the journey. Black Friday isn't just about getting people to buy once, it's about increasing the order value and the lifetime value of that customer over time. So instead of ending the journey at a thank you page, Nosto helps you keep shoppers engaged by offering relevant upsells. These are not just random add-ons, they're based on real session data, like items the shopper viewed or added to cart but didn't purchase. It's offering real-time recommendations, and you can offer time-sensitive upsells within those recommendations after checkout. So for example, you can add this product in the next 60 seconds and get 15% off. It feels personal and urgent without overly pressuring your customers on that. And this is Jenny Bird, one of our clients who utilized this type of strategy. They saw a 58% increase in average order value from accepted upsells using that strategy. So the key is not interrupting the experience, and you're extending it in a helpful way. If that's one message I can give you, that will be it. I hope they are helpful. Hopefully you could hear everything I said. If not, I will repeat some bits in the question and answer section, but thank you all.
Thanks, Thomas. Yes, we can definitely hear you. All of those insights were great. So many important tips you shared, but one that resonated with me is product discovery. I think that was such an important call out. It's so much easier said than done to turn BFCM traffic into conversion. But that tip of really personalizing product sorting, really around shopper intent, I think was so key, and just create urgency and really build off of customer intent. So thank you so much for sharing that. We do have a question from Caitlin in the chat. So during BFCM, when shoppers are inundated with emails and messages, what does Nosto recommend as the optimal timing and frequency for engagement campaigns to really maximize conversion?
Good question. And the answer is probably one you're not going to like, because it depends. It depends on what vertical you're in, who your customers are, how you know them. Again, some of the important parts I think that we covered is segmenting those users and knowing their intent and how frequently they like to buy from you, or if they've ever bought from you before, and that really should impact those email strategies. We can definitely get more in the weeds of it after the fact, but yeah, and again, making that a consistent experience across email to on-site to mobile and app. Those various surfaces are important, and making sure there's consistency across all of those surfaces is what's going to help you drive those conversions to Black Friday, Cyber Monday. and beyond with lifetime value after that.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And maybe you can connect with Caitlin after this because she's actually the winner of your giveaway. So congratulations, Caitlin. Thank you for your questions. And thanks everyone for all the engagement in the chat during Thomas's session.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Thomas. All right, I'll pull back up my screen here. Thank you again to everyone who is still with us. Really appreciated the time today. Before we wrap up, I just wanted to call out some amazing DTCx events that we have going on. We've got our gorgeous DTCx global webinar session coming up on October 1st. We're really, really excited about this one. I will be there, so please RSVP if you haven't. We're going to be sharing some more really, really great tips and tricks. Another event that we wanted to share here is we've got the Gorgias in Conversation tour happening in LA, Paris, New York, London, and Austin, all during the week of September 22nd. So you won't want to miss it. Please scan the QR code on the screen to register for a city near you. So that brings us to the end of today's session. A huge, huge thank you to all of our speakers, Ezra, Erin, Krista, and Thomas. Thank you so much for sharing all of your insights and taking the time to join us. I hope you're all leaving with a few concrete ideas that you can take back to your teams as you start to prepare for BFCM. And thanks again for joining us. Best of luck as you head into this season. Thanks, everyone.